Good morning to everyone. This is Anil Yadav in front of you, and I'm the civil servant aspirant, and right now I'm preparing for the this examination. So frequently I see that people don't have the correct knowledge or the correct information about our political system in India, which we all are experiencing, and they have the different connotations which is negatively impacting on their mind. Okay, so for those people, I would like to make this video, and I would like to make them understand also. So please listen to me very attentively. Okay, if you have any queries, so you can ask me then and there. So first of all, there is a term. First of all, we should not talk about dictatorship. In the further proceeding videos, we will talk about dictatorship also. But today our topic will be around that democracy. That what is democracy? So before understanding, delve into the democracy term, we should know the basic meaning of the democracy. What do you mean by democracy? So I would like to say this thing. Demos means people. In the human geography, demos are known as a people, and cracy means as a rule. So if any people, like people of the country, if they get directly, indirectly they rule on the nation, so it means it is known as a democracy. Okay, because majority of the Indian citizens are very high in the quantity wise, so each and every individual cannot get the right to rule over India. So we have to elect one leader of our nation who's among of us. So, and in the democracy we have the two categories. First category is of the indirect democracy or direct democracy. Basically, indirect democracy or direct democracy, we are just talking about the electoral representation, like how we are just representing our electoral system in India. So in the direct democracy, we have the prime ministerial elections, in which we all experience the direct electoral representation from the citizen at large in India. And in the presidential, when the election process of the president comes after 5 years, so we have to experience the indirect democracy, in which all the citizens do not enjoy the right of the participation. Okay, but indirectly, the MPs of the state legislative assemblies, elected MPs of the parliament or the legislative assemblies, they definitely get the right to elect the president in the indirect form. So it was related to the subcategorization of the democracy, that indirect democracy or direct democracy. Now further, let me explain this thing, that so many individuals have this question in mind, that why do we need only democracy? Why don't we need monarchy? Why don't we need republicanism? Okay, in India. So for a kind information, I would like to delve into the matter that democracy was one kind of an element which Indian citizens or the earlier the princely rules of the states have been experiencing at the time of the British rules. When Britishers came in India in the 16th century, so they came with their own kind of a specific governance with the specific consensus among those people. So that's how they thought, if we use this kind of parliamentary form of the government in India, so it will be very conducive, it will be very efficient. But by the passage of the time, that conducive system of the parliamentary form of the government has become the less conducive, or there is a less efficiency in the administrative capacity. Getting the point? So what happened? So this was the one kind of a factor. That's why we adopted, because so many K.M. Munshi was the first one member of the Constituent Assembly. He said this thing: we already have been experiencing this kind of a governance system in India. So why we should go back and buy a novel experience again? So we should stick towards these things, and if we stick towards this system, so our expenditure will be very less in terms of the establishing the institutions which will lead towards the prosperous democracy. So this was that related to the democracy. And the one point is written here: leaders keep changing and it causes the instability in the system. Obviously, it is the right fact about the Indian democracy or about the parliamentary form of the government, because leaders are keep changing every 5 years, after every 5 years. Okay, so they will definitely bring their morality in terms of the law, like rules and regulation and policy formulation. They would like to impose their hegemonistic domination over the shoulders of the different people in the system. Are you getting all the people or not?
Yes.
Yes. So the leaders keep changing, and according to me, if leaders keep changing, so it has the positive side effect also, Like positive side effect would be there. Obviously, if there will be the stagnation of the particular ruler or the leading party in the system of India, as we already have been experiencing the rule of Congress, okay, so people might get bored that there is a stagnation in the policy, there is a stagnation in the face, okay, because we are the representative democracy and we are the dynamic democracy. So dynamic democracy should not be stagnant. So that's why it is the positive side that we should keep the leaders change every time. We should not stick towards the stagnation in the policy formulation. But it is having the negative side effect also. Like suppose that like earlier what used to happen that in the Congress regiment there was a policy like Nirmal Bharat, which became in the Modi regiment as a Swachh Bharat. So there is a one kind of a from the better practices to the best practices. The term came. So now we have the Swachh Bharat. So it is the best practice. But what is the guarantee that it is the best version of that policy, that it will be guaranteed towards the developmental activities? No. And we should also have the simultaneously better practices which can lead towards the dynamism in the policy formulation. Which can lead towards the dynamism in the policy formulation. If there is a dynamism, so obviously we will definitely experience the different kind of criteria, different kind of rationality during the formulation of the policies. So in that sense, we should definitely keep the leaders changing, but we should not. We should change the leaders, but we should not change the policies which have already utilized the like developmental potential in earlier phases. But there are some leaders who have their like fixed mindset, or tendency, because if there is a tendency which does not synchronize with the earlier party. So that's why they want to create their domination over the other parties. Like for example, if I just talk about in Indira Gandhi regiment, we had so many policies related to the rural house policies, urban house policies. But Mr. Modi changed it by the name of Indira Gandhi and made the name of at the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So this is what. So like essence should be same, but name should be changed, but essence should be the same of any policy. So in that case, we can say that leaders keep changing, so it introduces instability more in comparison to the development, because we all have experiencing that the same thing for a long time period. And now, second point, we should talk about democracy, power play, and political competition. So no scope of morality. So you should understand first of all what do you mean by morality, because so many students do not know the basics of the morality. What do you mean by morality? Morality means if any individual thinking personally in his mind, in thought process, that it should be right from my side and it should not happen in the society. So it is his personal morality. So moralities are always not saluted or respected in the society. Okay, always remember. So my personal morality can be this thing that democracy is not good, but other person's morality can be this thing that morality, like democracy is the best thing. So there is a one kind of a conflict between the moralities of the individuals. Political competition, yes. When we do not have the same mentality, so same morality, so obviously there is a conflict which will lead towards the political competition. Nowadays, Congress morality is different and BJP's morality is different. So both the moralities are not matching. Okay, they are not coming as a what should I say?
They are not coming on the same page.
They are not coming on the same page. So moralities are different. That's why there is a less consensus in the decision making, because each and every opposition party frequently criticizes the present party, that this party is not doing well and this party should do that. So they are saying those things on their personal morality. But Mr. Modi's morality and Mr. Modi's Council of Ministers morality is far better than those ministers who have been ruled earlier. Now, so political competition, I would like to emphasize here a little bit. So we have presently we have the 8 national parties. Actually, if I am wrong, so please correct me. As per my knowledge, we have the 8 national parties. Recently, our party of Delhi government got the status of the national party. So there is a political competition. And in the southern India, we have the All India Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam party, which is also at the brink of the getting the national status party. So when any party is getting the national status, so it becomes one kind of a fear for the ruling party at the central, that if the other parties are getting the national status, so it means they are doing well in their particular states. That's why Election Commission of India is giving the status to the election part, like elected party, national party. So it generates the compatibility in the both factions of the political scenario, like BJP, Congress. Now there is no competition between BJP and Congress. There is a competition between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, because recently BJP, like Aam Aadmi Party, got the national status. So there is a political compatibility that Mr. Kejriwal is doing well in the particular NCT of India, so he can also do in the other states of India if he becomes the prime minister. Okay, so it is one kind of a fear for the ruling party, that it should not, there should be the less elaborate political compatibility. So that's how we can rule for a long period of time, and we can like introduce the despotic system. We can like implement the autocratic rule in India, so people cannot raise their voice. So there's a no scope of morality. So other parties' morality, there will be the less scope to be part of the particular.
They also lose the morality by polarizing Hindu versus Muslim.
Yes. Sometimes leaders also polarize the like community in this India by by touching the topic of religious fundamentalism. That Muslim people are not good and Hindu people are good, so you should follow these people. But according to me, or according to the rational perspective, all the communities are equally good, and it is our like negative perception about the any single community that this community is not good, our community is good. So it should be the only perception, and perception can also vary every time. Perception are not always true. And so many, the third point we have, that so many people have to consult it, so it causes delay. Yes, obviously it is right, because in the parliamentary form of the government, it is not a feasible task that we should go door to door and consult and ask for the opinion based electoral representation, that which party do you want that its leader should become the Prime Minister of India. That's why we chose the direct representative
Actually,
system.
certain issues are there in the country, let's say,
Yes, sir.
okay, they have to be implemented. So actually the implementation takes hell lot of time, and because it has to be consulted, right? Because dictatorship is not there. And only one person cannot apply the particular thing, right? So several policies, bills are there. So when they have to be applied, but it causes delay just because of the consultation with many people, right? So it causes delay. So I want you to please.
Okay. Yes, actually, like sir asked me the question related to the privileges of the parliamentary form of the government or the parliament. What is the main function, or what are the functions to discharge their duties in the parliamentary capacity? So whatever sir said, it is known as a term in the political science as the bulletin of the procedure. Bulletin of the procedure is a one kind of a method by which the consensus of so many political membership, the MPs, are not taken very seriously, and suddenly they are passed as a law. Getting the point? This is known as a bulletin process. Whenever you are just cutting all the consensus of all the MPs, all the legislature in the parliament, and you are not paying the heed towards their like projects or their statements in the parliament. This is why there is a delay. So in the parliamentary form of the government, if it causes delay, so it does not mean if it is causing delay, so we should definitely go and jump and implement the rules without seeing the right interpretation of the laws. Sometimes it happens, like for your kind information, when the 3 laws related to the farm community were implemented, so there was a huge rush, a fight between the people in the society, and the people were not ready to accept those kind of laws and rules. So what happened at that time? Government thought, if we go through the traditional system of discussing or efficient manner, so it will consume a lot of time, and we do not have that much of time. So we should jump through the law, and by implementing that law, we can bring the intended benefit in the society. But what happened? It turned definitely very negative. The government of the present time had to bend themselves in front of the citizen at large, because citizens were not ready to accept the policy. So I would like to say, if it causing delay in the parliamentary form of the government before coming on any decision, So you should take time rather than coming with any kind of abrupt decision, because abrupt decision can definitely leads or make any individual's life hell. Okay, so we have to not make anyone's life hell, rather than we have to make the life of the person very wonderful. Okay, the person should praise that we are the Indians, so we have proud of on our democracy. So it is completely right, negative connotation, because government of the time.
But here one question is there.
Yes, sir.
Let's say demonetization was applied, right?
Yes, sir.
And it was applied very quick or abruptly.
Yes.
Right? So many people criticized that. But here I would really want to know your like personal opinion to some extent, that if Mr. Modi, let's assume, if he had consulted that demonetization with many people, or if he had made a kind of a chaos with that, then you know when something is going to be applied, big cacophony is there, right? Big uproar is there. Fine, opposition would have come and negated that. So would it have been applied? No.
No.
So whether demonetization was a good decision or not comes later, right?
Yes.
But it would not have been applied
Yes.
if he had discussed or consulted. So would it be finally, I mean, although yeah, it is a debatable topic, right? So what would you say? I mean, then if discussion is a lot, delay is there, so many things will be applied and so many things will not be applied, right?
Actually, sir, this is the term causes delay. Causes delay, like sometimes we in the parliamentary form of the government, our Constitution of India has given so many functions, so many elements by which we have to go step by step. But the present form of the government, they think that we are the masters of the political system. We are beyond the Constitution. So any political party, if they are beyond the Constitution, it means they are not following the correct procedure which is Constitution is giving them. Like sir, for your kind information for everyone, we have the three main procedures, like substantive motion, substitute motion, and subsidiary motion. So these are the motions by which we have to go very gradually. We cannot jump like directly without passing through these three motions, which are the which edifies the democracy of India. We can say this thing. So obviously, like if I just talk about apart from the demonetization, there was a Aadhaar card bill, okay, which was given as a form of the money bill. So money bill, government knows if there is a money bill, so opposition party cannot raise their voice. Okay, because money bill is that bill on which Rajya Sabha has not any kind of a say. So we as a Lok Sabha, we can start the money bill and we can get it passed by the President of India. So that's how they gave the face to the different bills, which is not valued by the another party. It is happening in the Indian political system. So nowadays, but now cabinet or the other open forum have come forward. They said that government should present the bill in front of the public opinion for the public. And right now we have the IT Act 2000. We have the IT Act of 2000. Now it has come in the society for the public opinion. The third phase of that debate of that IT Act has come for the public opinion. So public will give their opinion. Means public, not general public, but the educated public who gets the chance to be part in the parliament proceedings. So that should be there. But haphazardly we should not come on any kind of a forward decision which has the negative impact always. And according to me, my personal views, because India is a vast diversity, vast linguistic diversity, we have this so many rational mindset in the India, and we have the so many different legislative assemblies government. So we should not come with any kind of a haphazard policy which can definitely leads towards the ineffectiveness of the administrative capacity. So, should I proceed again?
But means we can say in this point, this is a debatable, because many policies, many bills can be there,
Yes.
which benefit or which don't, right? So yeah, sometimes delay is better, or sometimes the delay is not better.
Because sometimes whenever government thinks to be despotic in the rules, so that's why they don't care about the causes delay, because they want to impose their
Certain things are there, if they are delayed,
Yes.
they will be useless. Example, demonetization.
demonetization.
If it had been delayed, it would have been useless. And let's say if it had been announced that Mr. Modi is actually working on it, then people would have been alert.
Alert, yes,
Right?
that, yes, you can say this thing. Yes, yes,
That's what I want to say.
Yes. So, but sir, it was a demonetization. There are certain policies on which government has to take decision without telling or without informing any individual. But there are certain policies in which government is becoming very fast. Okay, they do not take care about the opinion based.
Yes.
Now we have the elected leaders do not know the interest of the people. It leads to the bad decision. Yes, it is right. Actually, this point is having a lot of subjectivity because it whatever it is here, it is written rightly. There is a there is a no negative subjectivity. There is a subjectivity positive. So let me experience. Like when any party becomes the majority party in India after winning the election, all is written. When any political party becomes the majority party after winning the election process, so they come in the parliament in front of the president. So always remember, always, it is not always the majority party which will think that I will be the ruling party of India. It is the president's personal opinion if the particular party is having the majority, but it is the president's personal discretion that which party he wants to elect as a prime minister. Always remember, it is a one kind of a negative interpretation of the people that majority party is always ruling party. No, it is the president's discretion which party he wants that to become the member of the country. So in this particular point of view, I would like to draw your attention. We have the British model of the government because our constitution is not sole made from the Indian side.
Yes.
We have borrowed from the different nations like USSR, Germany, Japan, okay, and also called British also. We have been the victim of the British rule also. So in the British form of the government, there is a clear-cut separation between the three organs of the government like executive, legislature and judiciary. But in India, there is a jointness of these three institutions, but there is a watertight compartmentalization. So it means no other institution or no other particular group can intervene in the different bodies, laws or like formulation. So Indian system is bad because ministers are not experienced or not expert in their particular field, because we have the limited choice to choose the ministers from the parliament itself. And for a kind information, sometimes there are so many ministers who are not a member of the parliament, but they are coming from the outsource. Like if any person has come become the minister or the minister of the particular government, so he has taken time of the 6 months. Within that 6 months, he has to show his majority in the parliament as an MP. Getting the point? So what happens when we do not have the unlimited choice? Like in the British model, we are restricted towards the parliamentary form, parliament only. We can choose the ministers from that particular body of the parliament. But if I just talk about the UK model, so UK model is giving the permission from the citizen at large, not the parliamentary only. If any particular person is the MBBS expert or MD expert, so he can be called in the parliament of that particular nation, that you are completely respected or allowed in decision making. So Indian system is lacking in that. Indian system is having the amateur leaders which do not have any kind of educational experience, and which is not having any kind of political experience or practical experience in terms of the ruling the nation. They have their own attitudes. They have this mindset that we want to dominate other minority people. They have this thought process. Getting the point? So it is very subjective also. Right now I am just lagging in this point, but it is rightly written because we do not have the expert ministers. Apart from Nirmala Sitharaman and apart from Arun Jaitley, how many members of the parliament as an MP are educated? You can search over the Google, so ratio will be always less.
It actually says that the leaders do not know the interest of people. But let's say many leaders know the interest of people. Let's say people are interested in religion. Let's say people are interested in making India as Hindu Rashtra, right? And it can be seen on social media. So the leaders who are coming in the regiment or want to come in the regiment, they will actually create such policies that, you know, if I come in the regiment, I will make it Hindu Rashtra, like that. So they know the interest of people. They know the interest of people is in the casteism, in the region. So that they would actually, in their manifesto, they would talk about that. So how can this statement be justified that leaders do not know the interest of the people without knowing the interest of the people? How will they become the leaders? Is there something, any justification of it?
Yes, sir. actually our government system is having the political homogeneity and political heterogeneity also. So like if I say that like leaders do not know the interest of the people, so it will be definitely negative or wrong to say this thing that leaders do not know the interest of the people, because in our government we have given the reservations to the different communities to represent in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So if the particular community is having the reservation system,
So in this case, we can say we should actually make it like this: elected leaders just work on the interest of the people only. They just do not see whether that interest is right or wrong,
yes, sir.
or justified or not. I think we should actually change this, this point like that.
Yes, obviously, because there is a subjectivity, because we
Otherwise,
have
the person or anybody should give justification on it. That in what case does the person want to say that? Whether the person or the leader does not know the interest of the people, how can he become the leader otherwise?
yes. Actually, what happens, sir, like if I just talk about, so there is a less representation from the state which is having the less population. Like for example, from UP, I think we have the 80 seats in the Rajya Sabha or Lok Sabha. I don't know the correct statistic, but it is there. So it happens. So in that 80 seats, we have divided that SC communities welfare and OBCs welfare, EWS welfare. So we are having those specific leaders in that Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. So it will be definitely wrong to say this thing that leaders are not known, because leaders are selected on the basis of that community majority.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So it will be wrong that leaders are not aware about the interest of the people. They are aware, but they do not take the decisions willingly.
Absolutely.
And should I?
Yes.
Democracy leads to the corruption because it is based on the electoral competition. Yes. There's nothing to explain in that point, because obviously it is known to everyone that democracy is based on the electoral process, and in electoral process India has been the victim of the corruption so many times, because we have the problems in the VVPAT, we have the problem in the EVM every time, because in if any party comes in the comes as the winning leader as a face, so we have always the first question after the sacred or accurate election process has been applied, but we have the as a general opinion we have the question that this person has done the corruption in the EVM and VVPAT, that's how he has become the leader of India. So we have this perception, but this perception is sometimes also right, because earlier what we used to experience the ballot paper, okay, which is not right now not applicable, but it is applicable in the indirect democracy where the president's election takes place. There is a ballot paper system, but in the direct democracy where we are just using the master of the government, head of the government, Mr. Prime Minister, so in that process we have to rely over the EVM or VVPAT. Okay, sometimes the corruption has been reduced due to the statistic which is given by the VVPAT, okay, which is known as a verifiable voter trade trail. I think this is the full form. So it is giving the one kind of a empirical data towards the public that no, there is no corruption in the electoral process, but sometimes there is a adulteration in the election also. There is a huge scam, because the political fundings are coming from the different political mafias, we can say. The sixth point is ordinary people do not know what is legal for them. They are not able to choose a good person.
What is good for them?
What is good for them? Yes, absolutely right. Sometimes because we are driven by the casteism, we are driven by the religious, we are driven by the ethnicity. Okay, so this is what our India. These all the things are the hurdle in the terms of the selecting person who should be the government, who should be the head of the government. Sometimes what happens in the South India and North India. First of all, our India is divided into two fractions, like Southern India and Northern India. So we do not have the mutual respect for both the territories, because sometimes there is a tendency of the secessionist tendency coming from the Manipur right now. Okay, secessionist tendency coming from the Telangana and Andhra Pradesh right now. So what happened? So on those demands, those negative demands, we have to divide the nation, or we have to divide the states on their personal demands. So sometimes it becomes the person who completes their negative demands. They think that this person is correct person, and he should be our master, political master, and he should rule over the nation. So this is what is happening in India. And there's a less education also, because Indian people are not most educated people, they are less educated people, and less educated people with less rationality. They are educated only a plus b is whole square. Okay, they are after the rote learning. They are not after the rationality. They are not after the intellectualism. They do not think whatever is taught them. They are cramming, mugging up that only. They do not think that why it is happening, why we should adopt this system. If we have this kind of a theorem, so why this theorem has come? They do not think. So I would like to say the people at general, we all are the responsible if we do not have the good political master in our particular constitution and in our particular Indian territory. So we should be very rational, we should be very intellectual, and we should be very alert while selecting any person as a political master of our nation. That's all. Thanks.